Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board to order. Mr. Becker, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do we do the just right? No. Numbers first. Oh. No. Yeah, you can't roll call. Yep. Okay. Sorry, just procedural questions here, making sure we're all set. So at this time, we are going to bring in our newly elected board members to take their oath of office with Mayor Devine. So I'll let you, go ahead. And then just as you're doing the work, make sure that light is green.
We are green.
All right, then you're good to go.
All right.
So call
good
whoever
evening.
you'd like. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very happy to swear in again, two of you, and for the first time swear in school board member elect Talani. I also want to take a minute to thank, I think she's virtual. I don't think Kristen Kaiser is here, but I just want to take a minute to thank her for her years on the board and her contributions to the community as well. So I have first up, Noah Lee. And do you want to do it here?
Yeah, I can talk into it that way.
I mean, they can hear us. All right, please repeat after me. I, Noah Lee,
I, Noah Lee,
having been elected to the office of West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board,
have been elected to the office of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Right. Mr. Brian Keller. Or should I turn this way now?
Rotate.
Yeah, right. All right, please raise your right hand. I, Brian Keller,
I, Brian Keller,
having been elected to the office of West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board,
having been elected to the office of West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Shifting back this way. Please repeat after me. I, Sagar Talani,
I, Sagar Talani,
having been elected to the office of West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board,
having been elected to the office of West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Devine. Yep. All right. Then, well, not quite for you. Sarah first. Sarah first. Yeah, just, So, Sarah, would you call the roll?
Ms. Steele? Here. Mr. Verbos?
Here.
Mr. Keller?
Here.
Ms. Carr?
Here.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Ms. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Tolani?
Here.
President Burns?
Present. All right. Proper notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Wisconsin. And at this time, then, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
All right. And then did I have a second? Yep. Okay. So that's moved and seconded. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. We are adopted. So then we will hand this over for the election of the board officers to Dr. Robinson.
So good evening. So I have the task of facilitating the election, the nomination, and the ultimate election for the position of president. So I first want to thank all of our members for their service, and then for our current officers for their for stepping up and accepting the challenge of being an officer on the board for the West Allis West Milwaukee School District. At this time, I will entertain nominations for the position of president. Are there any nominations for the position of president?
I would like to nominate Brendan Burns.
Second.
Have a nomination for Brendan Burns for the position of president, and has been seconded. Are there any other nominations for the position of president? Are there any other nominations for the position of president? Are there any other nominations for the position of president? Hearing none, I ask that we have a motion to close nominations for president. And in addition to that motion, that we have a tally placed, one tally to support the nomination for Brendan Burns for president.
Motion to close nominations for the office of president.
Okay. And you need to move that the clerk puts one vote for that
And
position.
move to tally one vote for the petition.
All right. Motion's been made and properly seconded. Are there any, is there any unreadiness? All those in favor show by the proper sign of voting. Simply. It passes. All right, congratulations to you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right, over to you for the remainder.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for your vote of confidence here. And I look forward to continuing the work and hopefully continuing to show everyone around here that we have the most fantastic school board in the area. So let's keep up the great work. Questions? Okay. All right. So then what we're going to do now is we're going to start moving into our other positions, which we will start with our vice president. So at this time, I would ask for any nominations for the role of vice president.
I would like to nominate Amy Deal.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations for the role of vice president? Any other nominations for the role of vice president? Are there any other nominations for the role of vice president? All right. Seeing none, I would ask for a motion to close nominations and then to take a voice vote for the role of vice president.
I'd like to motion to close the nominations for vice president.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been closed. All right, so then, show of hands, all those in favor of Amy Deal as vice president? All right, that will pass. Congratulations, Miss Amy Deal. All right, and we will then move into our third role, which on the list here is treasurer. So at this time, are there any nominations for the role of treasurer?
I would like to nominate Jane Carr for treasurer.
Second.
Nomination and a second. Are there any other nominations for the role of treasurer? Are there any other nominations for the role of treasurer? Any other nominations for the role of treasurer? All right. Seeing none, I would like to ask for a motion and a second for closing the nominations and to cast getting tied up in my words, but close the nominations and cast a vote for treasurer.
Motion to close nominations for treasurer.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All right. All those in favor, show of hands for, all right, there we go. Fantastic. All right, so we have Jane Carr as our new treasurer. Thank you. And finally, we have our clerk for role to be coming up. So are there any nominations for the role of clerk at this time?
I'd like to nominate John Verbos for clerk.
Second.
All right. We have a nomination and a second. Are there any other nominations for the role of clerk? Any other nominations for the role of clerk? Any other nominations for the role of clerk? All right. Seeing none, I will ask for a motion in a second to close nominations and cast our votes.
Motion to close nominations for clerk.
Second.
Wow, that was really good.
All right. So with that, a show of hands, all those in favor for John Verbos as clerk? Yeah. All right. Those opposed? All right. And that will lead us to having Mr. Verbos as our new clerk. Congratulations. All right. With that aside, that will take us into our next and probably most fantastic part of the night. We have our Jefferson Student Showcase. Are we all ready to wander up here? And then as you guys are talking, if any of the students are talking, just make sure that the light on the microphone is green for them.
All right. You guys hear me okay? Okay. Good evening. Thanks for having us. I'm Kyle Berto, the principal at Jefferson Elementary School. I'm here with Allison Jelasic, one of our fabulous 5K teachers, and also for 3 current 5K students and 1 first grade student that Allison had last year who will be putting on the showcase for you. Victoria, Wes, Juniper, and Colton. Just really quick, giving you a quick overview of who we are at Jefferson and what we're striving to become. Our guiding coalition has been working really hard. It's a team of our teacher leaders, myself and our instructional coordinator, Kristen Davis. We've been doing a lot of work this whole school year, but some of our work has been around our mission and vision. We kicked off the year really rooting ourselves in our mission, which is all students will learn at high levels, just period, no questions asked. We recently finalized our vision as a team and introduced it to our whole staff and did some work around this about 2 weeks ago. At Jefferson, every student is known, valued, and challenged to learn at high levels through strong, focused instruction, consistent expectations, and partnership with families. We ensure all students develop skills, confidence, and the character, to create their own path and succeed in school and beyond. That's a mouthful, but we highlighted some really important words: known, valued, challenged, and learning at high levels, and created that into a one-liner. And our motto has always been every student, every day, whatever it takes. You guys have all seen our theories of action, so I'm not going to go into all details here, but essentially at the root of it, we are trying to improve our level of tier 1 instruction to have high quality universal instruction. Some things that we've been focused on this year as a building is building our professional learning community. The heaviest lift that we've had is implementing consistent collaborative meetings in literacy, math, and behavior throughout the year. Literacy and math are
two hours a week. Some of them with our fabulous instructional coordinator, Kristen Davis, facilitating. Some of our teams are now at the point where teachers are facilitating the work, really focused on building teacher clarity and analyzing student work. We are also focused on learning intentions and success criteria, which is that teacher clarity part, focused instruction, checks for understanding, and what we're focused on here tonight, early literacy and early intervention. A couple other things I put on there more from that coaching and leadership standpoint of making sure that we are conducting consistent coaching and feedback cycles, which is happening consistently in our building with our instructional coordinator. We've also started doing vicarious learning experiences where our teachers are filming themselves and doing some reflection on that. I could talk for a long time about all that, but I'm going to pass it on to Allison Jelasic, who's going to take you through the components of a UFly lesson, which is the program we're using to build foundational literacy skills in our early grades. So please welcome Allison Jelasic.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. Phonics and UFly is one of my favorite things to talk about, so we're really happy to be here. And I have some excellent kindergarten helpers that are going to show their knowledge with all of you. They might be a little shy, but they're very smart, I promise. They know what to do. They might be a little reserved, though. So with that, we'll do first a brief introduction to myself. This is my 4th year teaching, but my 2nd year at Jefferson, and I'm incredibly passionate about high-quality literacy and phonics instruction. It truly is a right for every student to be able to read, and I take that responsibility very serious to get them there. And this program has really been that vehicle to drive students to success with foundational skills. And so I found this program when I was in my 1st year teaching, and I had students that weren't growing. So I kind of went a little rogue at my previous school, and I did this. And as a 1st year teacher at that building, I had the highest MAP growth in the entire school, just from how powerful this program is. And so that kind of lit a fire and passion in me to share it with as many children as I could. And kind of a brief overview of what this program is. I pulled some quotes directly from their website, but UFly stands for the University of Florida Literacy Institute. It's an explicit and systematic program that teaches students the foundational skills necessary for proficient reading. It's designed to be used for core instruction at levels kindergarten through 2nd grade, and then as intervention from any grade thereof above. And something that's really awesome about this program is it follows a systematic scope and sequence. So each lesson builds on the previous lesson. Students never going to be introduced and expect to be mastered something they haven't already been taught. And then everything is super accessible. Like the manual is the only physical piece that you need to teach this, and everything else is found online on their toolkit for anybody. Anyone could go right now and pull all the materials that I use to teach with every day. So very accessible. So this is a lesson that we have already done in my kindergarten class. And before we dive into this, I chose a very diverse group of students. I have students up here representing lots of different groups, such as multi-language learners, students with an IEP, students that were with us in K4, and students that were with us that just joined in K5. So a real diverse group of where they started with their letter skills and kind of hurdles that some of them may face individually and how to get there, and how this program truly meets every student where they are. So my students saw this lesson a few weeks ago. We started our digraph unit, which is 2 letters that make 1 sound. So today we're going to teach all of you a little bit about the letters S and H and how they say shh. All right, so every UFly lesson is comprised, it's broken up into 2 days, so each skill is 2 days, and we start with this phonemic awareness part. So this is where I'm going to have my friends help me out here. All right, let's start with blending. Ish.
Fish.
Good. Now let's pound and tap. Show me your hands. Shin.
Shin.
Shin. Good job. And then we move into our visual drill. And all of these are abbreviated versions of what each lesson is. Each of these components, each lesson is an hour total broken up into 2 30-minute chunks over the 2 days. So there's many more examples throughout. So now I'm going to go into our visual drill where our students will tell us the sounds that they see on the boards and how they would read them. Very good. Now here we go to our auditory drill where I will say a sound and the students will write them on their handy dandy little boards here. All right, let's start with write me the 3 ways we can spell k. The 3 ways to spell k. So they're writing on their boards the letters C, K, and then the digraph CK. Do you guys want to hold them up for people to see? You want to show them? Show them. Show it. Next, please write the letter that says A. And the letter that says I. So usually we run through many more letters in this, but we're going to keep moving. For time's sake, I won't go into this one in depth, but there's a separate link that then we do blending drills where they get to change and move sounds around and then read the words to me. And then we go into our new concept. So a consonant digraph is two letters that
make one sound.
And we previously learned that CK says k, like in the word duck or quack. And now we're learning that we have S and H, which by themselves say S and H, but together they say, like the first sound in the word
Sheep.
sheep. We can have sh at the beginning, like in this word, Victoria. Good. Or this word, Wes.
Shop.
Or we can have it at the end, like in this word, Junie. Fish. Or Colton, like in this word.
What?
Very good. We're going to read some of these together. So let's go with Victoria. Good. Wes.
Sh. Shut.
Junie. Shell. And Colton.
Call.
Shock.
Shock.
Good job, shock. And then we practice by spelling our words. So my friends up here, can you spell the word rush?
Rush. What?
Rush. And you can hold it up to show. Rush. Good job. So that would wraps up our day one. And then day two starts with an overview of the slides I just showed. And then we go into word work, which is my students usually their favorite part of the lesson. So make me your ladders. So this is where we take sounds away and put new sounds in. All right, your first word on your ladder is shin.
Shin.
Good. Then we're gonna change shin to ship. So what do we take away?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Take away and give it. Very nice. Good. And then the next part would be our irregular words or our heart words as we call them. These are words that students cannot sound out. They don't follow the conventional rules of phonics. So this is our example for today. What's this word?
What?
Want. Ready? Then we spell want, then we write it. These ones are really tricky because they can't sound these out and there's a lot of different letters to remember. And then we go into a sentence that'll have one of our students read for us. Victoria, can you read this for us? Very nice. I know, aren't they so cool? And then typically I have the students write a sentence, but that can be a little tricky and a little time consuming. So we're going to skip that today. And then I put this up here to show an example of what the students would read in my small groups after. UFly has these decodables. So again, these are the things that they have been taught how to read. I'm never going to give them something they haven't been shown how. And yeah, that concludes what a UFly lesson would look like. This was kind of, last year when I was trying to bring it to our school, it was a kind of a long and hard battle to get people to look at and to see how wonderful it is. But now I have students in first grade performing incredibly well on their testing, students in kindergarten that are low risk in their literacy categories. And so it's amazing to see that these students are really taking a hold of this and really showing up as proficient readers and writers, even in kindergarten. And it's, I don't know, it's awesome to see because they're coming doing their job every day at school and they're being really successful. So I don't know if you wanted to wrap up with something.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions about? Yes.
Okay. I noticed, first I want to say, I noticed that your kids were really engaged doing this and they're probably really nervous, but I think it's great that they're still engaged. You also mentioned that when you started UFly, it was when you went kind of rogue at a different school. So how big of a difference did you see, like, in terms of engagement between what you used to do and with You Fly? And do you find that the kids like enjoy like reading or writing more than they used to with the other thing they used to do?
Yeah, thank you. So at my previous school, it was really unstructured. And I don't know if any of you have ever been in a kindergarten classroom that's unstructured, but that's pretty wild. And I think with any kid, the more structured and predictable a routine can be, the more successful they're going to be. And so you can flip through this entire book. Every single lesson of every single sound is going to be comprised of the same elements. So I believe that that's part of why students are so successful with this. It's because it's so predictable and so manageable for them, and I can modify it to meet them where they're at. And that predictability is really engaging for them. And I have kids every lesson, whenever we do the word work, make our ladders, they go, yay. It's like, that's exciting to hear because not every kid is stoked to write words. So.
Other questions from the board? Comments? Sure, Mr. Talani.
I just wanted to know if you're the only 5K teacher using this, or are the other ones also using it?
Yeah. So last year, our team was the only team in the district using this, and I was trying to share my data with anybody I could. So I was emailing anyone I could think of. I was probably really annoying because people would see my name pop up so I could share our results with everybody. And so very luckily, our team was able to still use it this year. And kind of at the very last minute, it was approved for every school to decide whether or not they wanted to use it. So right now, every kindergartner and first grader at Jefferson is receiving You Fly instruction. I can't speak specifically to other schools, but I do know that many people have enjoyed using it, and I'm hoping that the push for it continues.
I know my daughter, who's right behind you in Miss Holiday's class, I often hear her using the same strategy. So
yeah, and they're very simple strategies that students can carry with them to grade level and grade level, which is why first grade is seeing such success now with their readers and writers too.
thank you for bringing this to Jefferson.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to also chime in. So it is a district-wide initiative unfortunately, the scholastic adoption does not cover a lot of the literacy components. And so UFly is being used as a substitute to support that work. And we've seen a lot of success with it. We're also trying to evaluate where we are with scholastic. And I think we have 3 years left on that particular adoption, but there are some noticeable gaps with literacy as we try to be in compliance with the Act 20 stuff with the state and the science of literacy. So UFly is a nice bridge for that.
Thank you. Other questions? Sure, Ms. Dew.
Thanks. I actually don't have a question. I just want to thank you guys for coming because I was incredibly impressed by the presentation. And when I see, I just get so excited when I see teachers that are so dedicated and just excited about what they're doing in the classroom. And so I think that conveys to the kids. So I thought this was a really great presentation, and I thought that this is great. The kids did great, and so did you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other comments? Sure, Mr. Becker.
I just wanted to ask if any of the kids had any thoughts. Like, you guys really did seem to be enjoying yourselves. What makes this so fun for you guys? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
Which is fun.
What is it? What does it help you be able to do by yourself? What can you do by yourself now because of phonics every day?
I don't know.
Can we read lots of words and lots of stories?
Yes.
Yes, and is that cool to be able to read things?
Yes.
And is it cool to be able to write things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it fun to watch me teach and go crazy every day with phonics?
Yes.
Okay. As you can see, I try to use a lot of hand motions to engage more so in the beginning with sounds, and that gets the kids really like their multi-sensory way to engage with this stuff too. So it ebbs and flows, but for the majority, I rarely have to fight students on working with me because they know it helps them, and they're excited to then read with me in our small groups too. Although they were a little less wordy with that than I was.
All right. Other questions, comments? No? Okay. Thank you for coming. And hopefully this leads to lots of novels in your future, starting to read the big ones.
We're working
Right?
on them.
Thank you
small.
so much for your time. We really appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, that will take us to our next section of the agenda tonight, which is going to be our superintendent's report. So Dr. Robinson, take it away.
So we don't have any legislative updates for tonight, so I'm going to get right into the report. DPI Schools of Recognition, high impact schools. I want to send a special congratulations out for Nathan Hale High School, Pershing Elementary School, and Walker Elementary School. I received a notice from DPI on last week. The Wisconsin Schools of Recognition program honors Title I schools at least 40% enrollment from low-income households that are ensuring educational success for our students, especially among those facing economic challenges. This distinction is based on a rigorous set of criteria, including academic performance, measurable progress in student growth or graduation rates, reducing achievement gaps, particularly among students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. So we want to send a special congratulations to these three schools who were recognized by DPI on last week. Hale Unified Basketball and Cheer compete at state. Hale's Unified Basketball and Cheer teams competed at the Ralph Davis State High School Unified Basketball Tournament at Gateway Sports Academy, joining unified champion schools from across the state in celebration of inclusion, teamwork, and the spirit of competition. We are proud of our teams for representing Hale at the state level. So shout out to those young men and young ladies for just being themselves, and it is truly a thrill to watch them play. We're going to bring up Jordan Pollard at this time, who's going to give us a quick preview of our next production, as well as some cast members who are here with him today. All right.
All right, good evening, everyone. So our next production is The Boxcar Children. It is the intermediate non-musical play. And the show runs from May 14th through 16th at 7 p.m. and then May 17th at 2 p.m. at Frank Lloyd Wright. We have three cast members here. We have Carly Burns, Vivian Staffeld, and Shona Yang. And so first, Carly's going to tell you a little bit about the show.
So a short summary, there are four... Short summary, there are four children, Henry, the oldest, Violet, Jess, and Benny, the youngest, are orphans, and not being able to live in their own home, they find a freight car in the woods and turn it into their new home. And everything's going peacefully, like they have money, resources, everything, until Violet comes down with a case of pneumonia. There are a lot of ups and downs, and lots of things happen. Come see the show to find out what happens.
Hello. Can I move this? Okay. Well, I'm going to be talking about what we've learned, what we've been doing. So these past couple of weeks, what we've learned at rehearsals and stuff, we learned about my bad. Wait, can I look? I have this down. Okay. We learned about how to communicate with one another and to listen to each other's ideas and stuff. And then we also learned about how to build the courage and how to build up our stage performance and how we should act. And lastly, we learned about how to act, because with this play, it's very limited of props and stuff. So we learned how to tell a story without so many props, and how to use our imagination and our facial expressions, our body, and yeah, that's.
You should come see our show because it is completely student run. There is no set, so we've had to rely on our creativity, acting, and imagination to put together a show. We are all really proud of what we've created and would love for you guys to come see it.
All right, thank you. Yes, I don't know how many of you might be familiar with the play Our Town. It's a show by Thornton Wilder, does not have a set, doesn't have props. This show is written specifically that way. So like the student said, it kind of relies a lot on miming and just their creativity overall. Nope, the show is written where there's like a drawn line. I think we're using a couple platforms. But other than that, yeah, it's written in a very unique way, a new challenge, I think, for a lot of our students. So a couple other quick updates for the theater program. On May 12th, a group from our cast of Catch Me If You Can was invited to perform at Skylight Music Theater downtown. They have an annual high school theater showcase. So we'll be performing a couple of numbers there, and they get to perform on a professional stage, which is really cool, a really cool experience for a bunch of them. And then our 2026-2027 season reveal event, where we'll be announcing the shows for next school year, will take place on Friday, June 26th in the evening at West Dallas Central High School, and it will be a mystery dinner theater. More information will be posted on our website for that. So any questions for the students or for myself?
Questions, comments? No? All right.
Over the past couple of months, there's been a lot of work from our district's athletic department to ensure that our students have equal playing field, equal chance for success on the playing field or playing surface through our WIA sports. I was challenged in that effort to get Central and Hill in the same conference. I was challenged by several people at WIA, instead of fussing, to be a part of the problem or solutions, I should say. And so I actually put my name in for an at-large position on the Board of Control. And so I was selected. And so I will serve on the 26-27 school year as an at-large member of the Board of Control for WIAA. So instead of me fussing, I will be actually someone who can do something about it. So that's just I'm putting I'm closing my mouth, and I'm actually going to do something about it. So, all right. So these are a couple of community events. I just wanted to highlight Catch Me If You Can. I did attend that production. Had the Mitchell Elementary School Orchestra and Band concert. Just want to highlight that as well. A lot of different meetings, but we had a pretty long night. Could be a long night. Georgia is our voice representative today. And Georgia is a junior at Nathan Hale, as a member of Renaissance Leadership Team, as a mentor, part of the track and field team, member of Rotary Interact Club, enrolled in multiple AP classes, member of the Hope Squad, and drum major for the Hale Band. Georgia, give us an update. What's going on in Nathan Hale?
Okay, there's a lot going on at Hale, guys, so prepare yourselves. This past Sunday, so yesterday, Rotary had our highway cleanup. I went along with a lot of other students in Rotary, including Brandon, another voice rep from Hale. So we had a lot of fun. We were playing music. It was such a vibe. It was great. I loved it so much. This Saturday in the morning and the afternoon is State Solo Ensemble at Carroll for all of our band, orchestra, and choir students. But then in the evening, we have prom, which is super exciting. I know we voted for our prom court, and we're going to vote for kings and queens soon. That's exciting. We start our AP tests next Monday, right after prom. So that's great. And next week is also Hope Week for Hope Squad. There is going to be a Spirit Week for Hope Week. We haven't decided the days, I don't think. But there will also be Penny Wars. And next week is also Teacher Appreciation Week. So I think that'll be fun too. And that's it. I'm right here.
Penny Wars, okay.
Penny Wars, it's going against advisories. So if you put, depending on how much change you put into like your like little bucket, whoever has the most change wins, but then you can also like put pennies in other people. Pennies are bad, but everything else is good. So whoever has more pennies loses, whoever has more like quarters and dimes and nickels, they win. So it's a great way to kind of like raise money, but also like
This is hilarious because no, Mr. Burns was trying to tell me what penny wars were, and he was wrong.
actually, at least I think that's what
No.
penny wars is.
We had a different version. That's all.
Yes. Typically, when you do penny wars, it's the opposite of what she said. Pennies are pluses for your group because we used to do it when I was in high school. So we would do it against the freshman seat, whatever. So if you put pennies in, that gave you points, and then the silver was what. So you
I might be wrong, guys. I might be wrong, but that's the way I understood it. That's the way
It's what Frank.
I believe you're right, Georgia. I think
I might be right. If I'm wrong, don't tell anyone.
it's one way or the other, right? I don't feel too bad tonight because I really thought I was the only one that didn't know. So I guess it's all good. Thank you, Georgia. I appreciate it. Are you attending prom?
Of course I'm going to
Okay,
prom.
I'm sorry,
What kind
I'm
of
sorry.
question is that?
I'm sorry.
I've been looking forward to this for
Okay.
all year.
Okay. I will be there. I will be there. Yeah, I will be there at the Harley Davidson Museum, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I'll see you there.
You'll see
Yeah.
me there. I'll be there. All right. On the dance floor. No, I won't be. You may be, not me. All right. That concludes my report for tonight.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So that will take us to our public comments portion of the night. So at this time, if anyone would like to address the board, you may sign up at the back of the room or in the Zoom link, which is in the chat. Introduce yourself with your name and address. You have 3 minutes to provide comments. The board cannot discuss, debate, or act upon any item during the public comments portion of the school board meeting. Follow-up may be provided by the superintendent at the next regularly scheduled board meeting. All right. And so I will check who we have on there, if anyone. All right. And at this time, we have Angelito Tenario. All right. Just make sure the light's green up there.
That's great. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, President, Vice President, officers, members of the school board, superintendent, and members of the public. My name is Angelito Tenorio, and I am the state representative for the 14th Assembly District. My district covers majority of West Dallas, parts of Milwaukee and Tosa. And I'm here to introduce myself and offer myself as support and liaison to the legislature. So big part of my background, I'm the son of Filipino immigrants. I'm the product of a union household. And my parents from an early age instilled in me the values of giving back and serving others. And that's what drives me with everything I do personally and professionally. I attended UW-Madison. I'm a proud Badger. And it was during my time at UW-Madison where I really found my passion and calling to public service, especially being in a community, a city with a rich history of activism and organizing, and the state capitol being right there as well. Really seeing the importance of young people, of people from all communities stepping up and making sure that our voices and values in our communities are being represented at all levels of government. I pivoted to environmental organizing. I really believe in protecting the environment, combating climate change, advocating for clean air, clean water. So I did work with an organization called Wisconsin Conservation Voters. And through that work, I had the pleasure of working with local governments, with members of our community. And that's when after having conversations with family, friends, neighbors, that was the first opportunity I had to run for public office. And I'm proud to have served on the West Dallas City Council prior to serving in the legislature. And now I'm in my first term as your representative. I am your voice in the state capitol. I'm your voice in Madison. And a big reason why I decided to run for this office is to support our public schools, to support our school district, to make sure that our kids, our teachers, our paraeducators, our staff, our communities and families have the resources that they need. This is one of the top issues that I hear from constituents as I'm knocking on doors, one of the top issues that I hear from voters in my office, making sure that our schools, that the West Dallas, West Milwaukee School District has the resources that you need in order to provide excellent opportunities for the kids that we saw earlier today and kids across our community, making sure that the state is doing its part. So there's a lot more work that we need to do. The state, and we'll continue this conversation, has a multi-billion-dollar surplus that I believe that we must use to invest in our school districts, because the jobs that you have as directors on our school board is very difficult. But I believe there's so much that the state can do to make sure that you have that funding and support to provide for our classrooms, for our kids, for our students and our families. So I just wanted to offer myself as a resource and as a support, as we all share constituents and we all serve the same communities. My contact information for you all and members of the public, please feel free to reach out to me or my office. My phone number is 608-237-9114. And my email is rep.tenorio@legis.wisconsin.gov. And if there are any issues, any questions that you have, any concerns that you have, or comments that you feel that I should hear as I'm doing the people's work representing our community in the state capitol, please feel free to reach out anytime. And my website is rep.tenorio.com. Thank you, everyone.
Representative Tenorio, could you also include your address?
My address is 1555 South 74th Street.
Thank you. All right. Then we'll see. Anybody else signed up? I do not see anyone, so I will give a moment to see if anyone comes on from either the Zoom or in here. Seeing none at this time, I'm going to close public comments and we will move on to item number 11, our board reports. We'll start with 11.1, our review of the board calendar, which apparently I just closed. All right, so tonight, April 27th, we have a regularly scheduled board meeting. And then on May 11th, 2026, we will have another regularly scheduled board meeting where we'll have the teaching and learning workshop with the 612 social studies adoption workshop. And then May 18th, we will have another regularly scheduled board meeting with no topics slated specifically at this time. That will take us into our next spot, which is 11.2, the appointment of the district parliamentarian, the CISA 1 delegate, the WASB delegate, and the WASB alternate. So these are voluntary positions that as people express interest, we can then select and keep going for our representation around the other groups that we have involved in our work around the state here. So I think for the starting here, why don't we start with our district parliament, well, the school board parliamentarian. So is there anyone that has any interest in the parliamentarian role?
Mr. Chair, I do.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else with interest at this time? All right, well, since you are the only one that's expressing interest, congratulations, you're our parliamentarian.
Thank you.
All right. Then we'll move on, and these are appointments, so we're not, no one has to vote on these ones. They're just, unless we have multiples. CISA 1 delegate, anyone that is interested in our CISA 1 delegate?
I would be interested in taking over for Ms. Kaiser.
Okay. Anyone else interested in the CISA 1 space? All right. Seeing none, you can take that appointment as well. Thank you and congratulations. WASB delegates. This is where we're going to have two. We have one that is our main that will be doing most of the work, but then we have our alternate that will need to be able to step in should something happen or conflicts of any kind that come up so that you can step in and fill that role as needed. So do we have anyone that is currently interested in the WASB delegate roles? Mr. Lee?
I was the current WASB delegate for last year. It was my first year doing it. I really think there could be a way to get better outcomes and continuing to do that. So I would like to continue doing as WASB delegate.
Okay. All right. And so as the primary then, yes? Yeah.
Yes, that would be my preference.
Yep.
So
Okay.
the main thing is just basically voting at the education conference and then expressing the vote from the board as we go through the resolutions that are presented.
Okay. All right. Good. Does anyone else want to?
I'll
Mr.
stay as the
Becker?
alternate. I'm sorry, you're still looking at the.
No, I
the-
can
the
jump.
primary.
I'm flexible. So go ahead. You want the alternate space?
I was gonna say I'll stay in an
Okay, so
alternate role,
we
yeah.
have the delegate and the alternate. Does anyone else have any other interest in the WASB representation? No? Okay. Well, congratulations, Mr. Lee, and congratulations, Mr. Becker. You'll be our WASB delegates then delegate and alternate. Thank you. As we move forward. So then that will take this, if we have nothing else with that, we'll take our board committee reports, starting with our financial stability and efficiency. Ms. Carr, are you ready to go?
I am.
All right, go ahead.
All right. At our Financial Stability and Efficiency Committee meeting on Tuesday, April 16th, we discussed the following. Number one, we reviewed a structure to analyze lowering class sizes and how that would impact the district's revenue and expenses. We will have more to share on this in future meetings. So we just touched like the surface there. So we will go deeper for you guys. Number two was our health insurance broker, our RFP, which is a request for proposal, is underway. We had 5 bids come in and are conducting 3 interviews the first week of May. We are hopeful to review this and bring the results to the full board for approval by the end of May or early June at the latest. Our third area of business was Shelley Strasser joined the FSC committee to discuss the potential pool expansion at our new fitness center here, as well as the community track redevelopment at Frank Lloyd Wright. We are planning a joint committee meeting for June to discuss these further, and with the hopes of a possible full board workshop in July about those items. And this last one, they're kind of connected. I'm going to call it just a little bit of a spoiler or a teaser here. So this third one here that are talking about the pool and talking about the track. So number 4 was finally Michael Clark from the Baird Financial joined the FSC committee to discuss a potential under levy strategy for the 26-27 school year. This would provide the board additional revenue limit authority in 27-28, as well as save the taxpayers substantial amount in interest by paying off our referendum bond early. The committee is going to continue to discuss this and we will report back. So once again, doing this might benefit other things in the district besides that, AKA some of the things that I talked about in number 3. So this concludes the summary report from our committee.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Carr. And with all those surprises and things, does anyone have any questions for this committee? Any further comments? No? All right. Thank you, Ms. Carr. Appreciate it. And then that will take us to 11.3.2, which would be our recreation and community services. Ms. Lee, are you ready to go?
I am all set, Mr.
All right.
Burns. Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Okay, so 2 items that we discussed of old business was our before and after school care RFPs. There was a listening and question session held with the current AM Action and Action 330 staff on the 24th of March with positive outcomes. Then Ms. Strasser and her team followed up the meeting by sending an FAQ to all staff members so everybody had the same information, even if they weren't there. Then Shelley and Ty attended a PTA council meeting on April 8th to share information on the RFP and get feedback from the PTA representatives as well. Our deadline to submit proposal, or the deadline to submit RFPs was Friday, the 17th. We did receive 4 proposals. Shelley and her team are working on a timeline and creating a comprehensive team to review those proposals and see how they measure up to what our current practices are. We discussed strategies to help remedy some of current challenges that we are experiencing with our action program and staffing structures that are being explored for the 26-27 school year. The annual parent and staff survey has gone out. Window closes this week. As of right now, the rec department is planning to offer action programs at all 9 elementary schools for next school year, given the fact that the RFP process is time consuming and so just that we're not rushing anything. We're just going to leave as is for this next year. There's still some work to be done with that. Then the other thing was our high school athletics end of year satisfaction survey. So we are working with school perceptions again for this survey to compile data. There was an email notification that went out, I believe, today with the link to the survey. So please, the more people that can respond and data we can get definitely helps drive many things in the future. So if you haven't done it yet, please look for that in your emails. The survey window is today through May 8th. And the survey results will be incorporated in the next workshop later this summer. And that would conclude my notes.
All right. Any questions for the Rec and Community Services Committee? Mr. Lee?
Just real quick on the survey, I thought we had asked about allowing an option for like comments. I didn't know if the survey questions had been modified at all from the one that we received last year.
Shelley's walking up, I believe.
One moment, please.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, school perceptions did add a space now at the end of the survey where both student athletes and parents can just type in and add any comments that they have if there's something not asked in the question that they wanted to share.
Thank you very much. I think it's really just because you're talking about all year long. You could have someone in 3 different sports. And so a lot of the questions last year were kind of like, overall, what did you think about this? And if you had 2 great experiences and 1 bad experience, it was hard to really enumerate that in the last year. So I'm happy to see that. So thank you very much.
All right. Any other questions this time? No. All right. Well, then that will move us into board member reports of community events. So board members, what community events have you attended? Sure. Mr. Verbos.
I'd love to go first. I went to see Catch Me If You Can, which was fantastic. I mean, I know I spoke with Dr. Robinson about it. We both very much liked it. But, I think that, it was, I think my favorite show that I've seen them do so far. I thought that the choreography was spectacular. I thought that the singing was spectacular. And I thought that having a little bit more of a, sort of mature sort of storyline to be followed was what made it more enjoyable for the adults that were attending the show. I couldn't say enough good things about it. And then I also last week attended the NHS induction ceremony at West Allis Central High School. And yes, my child is the treasurer now, which is very exciting. But again, they actually inducted the largest class of NHS members to date this year at West Allis Central, which just shows how well those students are performing and how, which means how well the school is performing and supporting them. So I thought that was really, really great.
Excellent. Thank you. Ms. Carr?
Thank you. So I also attended the play, and I thought back to when a year ago when all of those seniors were graduating and we sat here and they came in and we said, oh, how will we ever survive without you? How they were so talented and so wonderful. And then here we have a whole nother batch of kids that will be graduating. And I thought to myself, wow, the cream rises, it really, those kids get their time in the spotlight. And then I thought, wow, how does this all happen? And it was after the performance on Sunday, they gave awards to the kids that were in at least 6 or more plays. And they got a medal and they get to wear them at graduation. And I thought, wow, 6 plays, dang. But there were kids that were in 13, 16 plays. And I just thought that that was so wonderful. And that's why that cream is rising. They've gotten all these opportunities. And I thought that was really special. I also did go to the 4K, 5K spring concert at Jefferson on Wednesday. It was adorable. And it started with last week, one of the Jefferson kindergartners saying, I'll be wearing yellow. Because they all dressed as the rainbow and the crayons. And the thing that really stood out was the principal also wore a crayon costume. Then this grown man walked in that yellow crayon outfit. And I thought, you know what? We do a lot for our kids. We do. You know, he was like, sure, I'll do it. So it was delightful and I enjoyed it.
Excellent. Thank you. Sure. Mr. Talani?
I also was, Miss Carr hit most of the highlights, but yeah, I also attended the Jefferson 4K, 5K concert. It was amazing. And obviously my daughter's in 5K and she was one of the yellow ones. So yeah, it was good to see Mr. Berto up there in his crayon costume. I did take a picture and send it to him. So yeah, thank you. Miss Utke, she always does a phenomenal job, but she's an amazing gem we have in this district.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Becker?
I also made it to Catch Me If You Can. Loved it. Always loved the pitch shows. Great seeing the kids come up over the years. I also made it to a couple of track meets over at Hale. Went to the JV meet and a varsity meet. One on a gorgeous 70-degree afternoon and one on a 40-degree rainy Saturday morning.
All in the same week.
Yeah. You know, as always, I think it's great seeing kids participate, especially in track, because it's not necessarily about where'd you finish in the race. Did you PR? Did you get a personal best? It's always good to see kids stretching and just trying to get better every meet.
All right. Excellent. Anyone else? Things that have happened? No? All right. Well, I wasn't able to get to anything last week. I was in Philadelphia, so I'm looking forward to getting into a couple of things this week and next. If there's nothing else, we are going to be moving on to our updates, which is other updates from me. And just the only thing that I wanted to put out there is that I'll be sending out an email for all of you to give me a list of the different committees you'd like to be on. And then please include any of the committees that you'd like to be chair on or would be interested in being chair on. So we can get that selected. We're going to be canceling all of our committee meetings for the rest of this month. And then we'll start back up here next month with the new committees and the new chairs for everyone. So just so everyone's aware as we move forward with that. And that is all I have for that. So we will move into our consent agenda at this time. Is there any one that needs anything to be separated out at this time? All right, seeing nothing, then I would entertain a motion at this time.
Go ahead. Thank you. Move to approve agenda items 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, and 12.5.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve agenda items 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, and 12.5. Is there any discussion on this motion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, and that passes. That will take us into our action item portion of the evening, starting with 13.1 School District Financial Depositories with Dr. Robinson and Mr. Norris. Are you ready to go?
Yes, so, thank you. Sorry about that. So we have several approvals that we're going to be seeking tonight. These are annual approvals. So I will go one by one with them. just to read through the quick description, and then I'll ask for approval. Actually, I can get you to ask for approval on that. Okay. So the first thing is the financial depositories. And where we are right here. So we have BMO Harris Bank, NA, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Will be used for investment purposes. We also have Wisconsin Investment Series Cooperative and Mid-America Administrative and Retirement Solutions. These are the three that we use for financial purposes, and we're asking for approval to continue for next year.
All right. You want this each one?
Yeah, we'll
then?
do it each one.
Okay. Is there any questions on this? It is just a standard piece that we do every year. And I believe these are, how long have we been with this group? The three that we have?
BMO, little over a decade. And then WISC is more recent from the referendum bond approvals, a couple of years. And then Mid-America, about the same. That's our HRA account.
Okay. So we have an established relationship with them. So any questions, concerns? All right, then at this time, I would entertain a motion for 13.1.
Move to approve 13.1.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve. You're good? Okay. To approve 13.1. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes. That'll move us to 13.2.
Okay, the next one here is to release purchase orders for the next school year. So as you guys know, the budget, even though we begin spending in 26-27 on July 1, isn't formally approved by the board officially until October, even though a prelim budget will be heard by the board in a few months. So this action allows the school district administration to start obligating funds post July 1 prior to formal approval in October.
Okay. Any question on that?
Move to approve 13.2.
Second.
All right, we have motion and a second. Any questions on that motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? That passes as well. 13.3.
Last one here is the delegation of leasing authority to Dr. Robinson. So we have a number of leases from copiers to property we lease, and it allows us to enter into those agreements in the good faith of the district. So look for pending questions, look for approval.
Okay. Are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve 13.3.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve 13.3. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes. 13.4, Dr. Robinson.
In order to comply with state statutes, we are required to publish certain things publicly in a newspaper. And so we've designated the South Now as the newspaper that we will have our official publications in. That includes minutes, that includes also any election results, anything that's considered official notification will go into the South Now. So this action that we're asking for tonight is to approve the South Now as being the official publication where those will happen.
Any questions on that? This has also been our consistent
That's correct.
publisher. Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Yeah. Ms. Carr?
So are they the only place that we can publish this? Are there other options besides the now?
There are other options, okay? The statute requires you to choose one.
Right.
This doesn't say that we're limited to that.
Okay.
This just satisfies that particular requirement of the statute.
Well, I just think that in the past, the Now used to really support West Allis, West Milwaukee, and they used to do a lot more of coming into our district and highlighting things. And I don't see that quite as much as I used to. I'm wondering if we have a connection, a relationship with them. And so just in the future, I'm happy to pass it for this year, but in the future, I think that I might want to find somebody else that does a little bit more for our district. I just don't think that they do enough for us.
I'm just kind of wondering with your inquiry, is it a sign of the times in that industry? Because a lot of the publications just don't have staff, like, so I don't know
I
what
don't
the,
know.
what the ultimate answer is.
So the south, right?
Right.
It's so that's Greenfield and
Sure.
so I'm
No, I
reading
know
about
what you- yeah,
them. You know, so I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We automatically just blanket, yep, let's
No,
do
get
it.
I don't know the direct answer to your question, so I'm just
Just
kind of
for
throwing it out
future.
there for discussion. I
And-
don't
Yep.
know.
And maybe
Right.
it's,
Mr. Lee, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think one thing, this is the least expensive option. You know, you could do the Journal Sentinel or something like that, but the cost to go in there is going to be substantially more expensive than South
Yeah.
now. But I do think your point is well taken, and it might be something that would be great for the communications committee to
that's what I was gonna
look
say.
into and potentially, you know, see if we can make inroads in that in introductions. You know, Alex Jones, I think is his name, who was the education reporter for the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. There is a relationship there. I know that they've done some work with us, but again, I think the expense there is the issue. So if the communications committee might be able to look into that, that might be something that'd be worthwhile to see if we can get some more exposure in that publication beyond just what we have to statutorily publish.
Sure.
Our committee is more than willing to do that. I just want to point out that the South now is the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. It's the suburbs. I have it up right here. So, yeah, we can definitely look at it, but just so you guys are aware that the South now, there's North now, West now, those are all just extensions of Milwaukee. So, yeah.
Okay, so like if it's the only game in town, I'm okay with it. I mean, we have to publish and absolutely, but just like a little more reciprocity.
Okay, certainly something that we can have the committee, once it starts it back up, to take a peek at. Excellent. All right. And so then with that, are there any other questions about the South now? At this time, then I would entertain a
Move to
motion.
approve 13.4.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes as well. And then we're going to move on to 13.5 for seeking a position as CISA 1 seat on Board of Control. So that's me and Dr. Robinson. I'll let you lead it off.
I was hoping you would.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I'm going to lead it off, but what I'm going to do is, since we have, and like to do this, Mr. Lee, you have had experience with the CISA. So what is it for? What are we doing for the public, and kind of why is it important for us to be on that Board of Control?
Yeah, so the Board of Control is kind of like a subset of CISA. As a member of CISA, we have the ability to cast a vote. So when I was CISA member my second year on the board, I think I was the representative. And so there's like an annual meeting where they go, and then you can basically cast your vote for your district within that CISA for the things that CISA are looking at and like the rules and things like that. The Board of Control is kind of above that, which kind of comes up with agenda items and kind of has an additional meeting, which kind of sets what the CISAs are going to kind of focus on for CISA 1. And Ms. Kaiser did, when she was CISA rep last year, did go for the Board of Control. There was an open position, a seat, and so she had gotten that seat. And so it's actually a 3-year term technically. And so this would be essentially fulfilling the rest of her term on the Board of Control. So it's obviously a good thing to be, just like it's a good thing to be on the school board. You get a say in kind of how things are going. We can try and ensure that the things that we see in our district are being put forth as a priority within that CISA 1 and have our voice a little bit louder, I guess, than some other districts who are not part of the Board of Control. So, and I would be interested in fulfilling the rest of her term if the board was willing to allow me to do so.
Okay. All right. So that's some good background. Are there any other questions, though, or any other thoughts on that role or this vote? Okay. Then at this time, I would look for a motion.
Move to approve 13.5.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve 13.5. Are there any questions on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes. And to your term, seeking after that. So then what we'll do is we will move into our 13.6 approval of the 2026-2027 base wage increase. And this, Mr. Norris, is all you.
Yep. All right, well, thank you. This is a different approval. Typically, when we've had this conversation in previous years, this would apply to all employee groups, but this year it specifically does not include our professional educators, as that was approved at the end of March from the last compensation model. So this approval this evening is for the following groups, and I'll give you a bit of context in a minute, kind of the thinking here. So this increase will apply to all the following employee groups: administrative, at will, educational assistants, facility staff, hourly lay professionals, secretary, subs, and which would include increasing the base wage beginning salaries, meaning that employees who currently have not started here, this would also increase kind of what we start employees at as well. It's trying to incrementally increase those numbers as opposed to getting 5-6 years down the road and then going, hey, we're $4 behind what everyone else is paying, trying to stay ahead of that. So I think that's important. And this also includes our long-term daily sub rates, things like that, to try to stay kind of in the middle or a little bit above to attract and retain people to fill those spots. This does not include supplemental contracts that would come at a later date with the extracurricular co-curricular guide, I think in July. So back to you, President Burns.
Okay, so any questions on this? Mr. Lee?
I'd like to propose an amendment to this proposal, and I would like to remove school board from this amendment and amend it so that this is everything except for school board.
Okay.
That we need a second to that amendment to be able to hear it.
Yep. So we have a motion on the floor.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that motion?
Could you speak a little to why you're wanting to do that?
Yeah, so, this is something that when we make these approved, it's much like Congress, we approve our own pay raises. And so I think in the instance with the issues with increased property taxes and what we want to use with our money that we get to put it the most towards educating students as possible, that wherever we can make those changes, I thought this year would be a good year to remove ourselves from this automatic pay increase, and we can consider it again next year. That's my rationale.
Okay. Yeah. So motion and a second on the amendment to this item. Any further discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I don't think that, hang on. Can I have a show of hands because I wasn't sure on that. Can all those in favor show of hands? Okay. And then those opposed? Okay. So that will pass as an amendment. So now we will have approval of, or we would need a motion and a second for the approval of the 2026-2027 base wage increase with the school board increase removed.
Move to approve 13.6 as amended.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions on that? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes. Okay, then that will take us to the end of our regularly scheduled board meeting. So at this time, I will need a motion and a second for the board to convene into executive session pursuant of Wisconsin statute 19.85 parent 1 parent F for the purpose of considering a student disciplinary expulsion order if discussed in public would likely to have a substantial effect upon the reputation of the student involved.
So moved. Move to executive session.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Sarah, would you call the roll?
Ms. Carr? Ms. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Tolani?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Deal?
Yes.
Mr. Verbos?
Yes.
President Burns?
Yes. And so we will convene an executive session. If there is no objection, we will recess for 5 minutes while the boardroom is set up for closed session. Seeing no objection, we will recess for 5 minutes.